Manchester United 0, Liverpool 3. And I'll tell you what, Arne Slot ball actually looks all right. They have beaten Arsenal and Manchester United in back-to-back games, scoring 5 goals without signing a player. The football looks scintillating at times. They look very, very dangerous in the final third, and they're keeping clean sheets. We're going to break it down. We're going to talk about Manchester United's chances, Carvalho, Curtis Jones, and Tsimikas' goals. And we're going to talk about what Liverpool could do throughout the remainder of the transfer window. If you're new to the channel, please do go down, hit that subscribe button. The road to 20,000 subscribers is well and truly on. Trying to hit that by the end of this month. Little bit ambitious, but we'll see where we end up at. And make sure if you haven't already and you're enjoying the content, you drop a like as always. Some videos are hitting nearly 2,000 likes. Now, we'll start with Manchester United had a bit of a mixed side. Sancho, Mount, Diallo, Rashford, Casemiro, Kelleher, a few others. They looked somewhat settled. Mason Mount and Rashford looked relatively sharp. Mason Mount had a couple of shots on goal. Rashford's unlucky in the first half. A back four, which is completely disastrous in my opinion. And if West Ham are watching that game looking at Aaron Wan-Bissaka, they need to get him out the door fast. The ball went straight through the face of the goal, and Wan-Bissaka's in no man's land, and that's how Liverpool got one of their goals. But obviously, no first team player really in the back line for Manchester United. Young players like Kelleher. Diallo looked relatively good. Mount looked quite sharp as Rashford. In terms of their bench, they had Eriksen, Anthony, Wheatley, McTominay, Wolfish, Bennett, Mafia. I mean, so it's a lot of kids that played. Liverpool, however, Kelleher, Tsimikas, Konate, Quansah, Bradley, more of a settled back four for Liverpool. Curtis Jones, Ryan Gravenberch, who I think is going to be a key player for Arne Slot. Harvey Elliott, Salah looked incredibly sharp. Carvalho, back-to-back goals against Arsenal and against Manchester United, and Diego Jota. More of a sharp team from Liverpool. And you know what? The goals, Man United probably should have gone 1-0 up on the early stages. You know, they looked relatively sharp, Man United, from the off. But that man again, Carvalho, who is now scoring against Man United and Liverpool, really asking the question to Arne Slot, should he stick around? Because there's been talks about, should he get loaned out? Is he good enough? Etc., etc. But pre-season for me is about big performances. Man United did play well throughout that game. Liverpool, you could maybe say, were lucky at points in the game. I did think Man United held their own in terms of their own performance. But that man again, Carvalho, gets a goal, kind of wrong foots Onana, an assist from Diego Jota, and Liverpool go 1-0 up around the 10th minute. Then Liverpool make it 2-0. Mohamed Salah beats his man, gets down to the byline, puts a ball across the box. Aaron Wan-Bissaka in absolute no man's land, and Curtis Jones is there to make it 2-0. Man United make some changes at half-time. Bennett come on for Lindelof. Scott McTominay come on for Rashford. Wolfish come on for Johnny Evans. Liverpool make some changes. Van der Berg come on for Konate. Jaros come on for Kelleher. Of course, no Alisson, no Van Dijk, no Trent in that Liverpool side. All of those players, as well as Salah, kind of pushing down to 1 year left on their contract. And around the 60th minute, Liverpool made it 3-0, and that was kind of game over. A goal from Tsimikas. Ball shot straight at Man United's goalkeeper, Onana. He then parries it into kind of no man's land, and Tsimikas makes it 3-0. But Man United, I think, held a good account of themselves. I don't think it was an absolute battering. I think Man United were just not as clinical as Liverpool. In terms of match stats, Man United actually had double the amount of shots as Liverpool and 3 more shots on target, and probably should have been 1 or 2-0 up in the first half from Marcus Rashford and Mason Mount if they took their chances. Passes, Liverpool had more. Possession, Liverpool had more. Shots, Man United. Shots on target, Man United. Passing accuracy, pretty even. Corners, Man United had more. So in terms of team stats, in terms of individual performances, Man United, I think, held a good account of themselves. Now, what I want to talk about is Liverpool now, in terms of their pre-season, have had a relatively good pre-season so far. They've beaten Man United, they've beaten Arsenal, they've beaten Real Betis, and they've got one more pre-season game, which is on Saturday, which is against Sevilla. Now, you'd expect them of last season to put good performances in against Manchester United and Arsenal and Betis, and that's what they've done. But considering they haven't signed a player, considering the fact that a single player has not walked through the door yet in terms of their, in terms of what Hughes and Edwards want to do, they've actually had relatively good performances. And I think Liverpool fans saying, "Oh, we shouldn't expect to be in a title race because it's a new side, a new manager and a new side." I completely disagree. I completely disagree with that because Liverpool should expect to be in a title race based off the season they had last year, in my humble opinion. I think they were a lot stronger in these two games against Arsenal and Man United than I think a lot of people are automatically writing Liverpool off purely on the fact that they've got a new manager and they haven't signed anyone. But they've beaten three good sides in Betis, Man United and Arsenal, kept clean sheets in two of those games. Sevilla, I expect them to beat as well. And then they've actually got two relatively good games. They've actually got their first four games, out of their first five, other than Man United, Liverpool should be winning all of these games, even Wolves. Now, Liverpool could quite easily beat Ipswich and Brentford without making a signing. Marcus Edwards and Hughes have come out and said that they do expect Liverpool to be very busy this month. Maybe 3, maybe 4 signings coming through the door. Who knows? But in terms of Liverpool in general, I think the performances have been good. I expect them to beat Ipswich and Brentford, and then we'll just kind of take it from there in terms of their Premier League season. Because so far, they've been linked with a number of players. Kudus, obviously Dominic Szoboszlai was not involved in yesterday's games, but the Mirror have been reporting that Dominic Solanke. Apparently, Liverpool could activate that release clause. Who I don't necessarily think that's realistic. I think they've got good enough forwards. I think they need an out-and-out DM for me. They need, probably you could say they need a left winger. Anthony Gordon has been heavily linked. I think he would really be a strong signing. Are Newcastle prepared to let him go? Newcastle have done well to hold on to Alexander Isak, to hold on to Bruno Guimaraes. I think in terms of Newcastle's transfer strategy, they've done extremely well to hold on to their bigger players. Now, in terms of Liverpool in general, get 3 players in this month, and then it will be going again for a Premier League title. Arne Slot ball looks very, very good. I think Ryan Gravenberch is going to play a key role in slot ball for them. I think he's looked very, very sharp during pre-season. And I think that, Liverpool in general, really destroyed that Man United defence on their chances. I think they were clinical. I think Man United probably could take a lot of positives out of that performance. But that's now 2 goals against Arsenal, 3 goals against Liverpool. That's 5 goals conceded in their last 2 games. And you've got to take your hat off and just say, you know what, Liverpool were very, very, very clinical. And, they can come out of that performance with their head held high. But now it's about going and getting 2 or 3 players over the line for Liverpool, focusing on the remainder of the transfer window. Now, of course, when I look at Liverpool throughout the remainder of the transfer window, if they can get a left wing, a central midfielder, and a left back, because I think they need a little bit more cover for Andy Robertson. Who knows what's going to happen with Tsimikas? Is he going to stay? Is he going to go? Who knows? 3 or 4 more players through the door in those positions, and I think they will be very, very, very strong going into next season. And so far, so good with regards to Arne Slot. 3 games during pre-season, 3 wins. 6 goals scored. Can't really complain if you're a Liverpool fan so far. They just need 3 or 4 signings over the line. But look, let me know your thoughts down below. Please do go down and hit that like button. The road to 20K is well and truly on. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. I am out.